work at the Job Corp, right?
Yeah, I worked there for about 5 years. The one they get ready to shut down. You heard about it, huh?
Yeah, what 90? What is about 99 of them throughout the United States? I think they talking about. Well, yeah, they're gonna shut them down by the end of the
I
month.
thought they were
I
going to
think
shut them all down.
yeah, by the end of I think they say the count is about 99 of them nationwide. I'm from what I've read, but that's a lot of people, man. They're gonna put out of work too, you know.
You know what, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
They when I was there, they didn't want to get that money up. They
Yeah,
'cause, majority of those kids down there are African American kids,
that's right.
kids off the street, kids
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
getting a second and third chance,
Mm-hmm.
to do better. And
Yeah.
they did it back then. I think eventually they gonna somebody gonna kick in and kick Donald Trump or whoever's in charge of the Department of Labor uh,
Uh-huh.
in the butt, and they gonna give up the. I don't think they're gonna shut them down.
You don't think so?
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
Mm.
really don't think so. That's
Well,
the only opportunity some of them kids get. The next
that's
step
right.
for
Hey,
a lot of them kids, serious incarceration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I worked around them. I know them, man. You know, and you talk to them, and you see where they're coming from and
Mm-hmm.
where they came from, and you
Right.
say, that guy ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You know, I know a few well young men now, man, that went through the Job Corps because of whatever the reasons were that they couldn't get through high school,
right,
either for disciplinary actions or whatever the case may be. The Job Corps was an option for them. They went through the Job Corps, went on to community college. Some of them went on to the military and uh, hey man, got good jobs, making good
yeah, a
money.
lot of good
You
because
know.
they can get their driving license in there.
Mm-hmm.
They
yeah.
get their training for to be a chef.
Right.
Uh, they let's see what else they do. They get it now. They even got where you can go into the military from there.
Yeah.
Some of them can go into the military, straight into the military from there. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them turn their life around, but you always got them knuckleheads.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's everywhere you go, man. Yeah.
everywhere you go, yep.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
bucking the
And,
program.
and eventually, I guess Trump, man, with his stuff, man, he may get into these 2-year colleges, these other technical schools, man. I don't know. I don't understand what his reasoning is. Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
It's because it's taking care, like you said, the minority
yeah,
folks.
and he
You
attacked
know.
he just today he done attacked the Columbia University. He done
Mm-hmm.
went after them now. He got tired of messing with Harvard, and Harvard put a lawsuit on his tail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Bobby was saying, the only hope we got is the legal system,
Yeah.
and that's he's trying to tear that down.
Mm-hmm.
Judge tell him to do one thing, he do the other one.
Yeah. Well, once he get the legal system built the way he wanted, man, it's practically all over.
Well,
I,
he already got the news networks. He
yeah.
done broke MSNBC down and
Mm-hmm.
CNN down to nothing.
Yeah.
What they talking about ain't hitting on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Except
Yeah.
for late night. Now you watch the late night now, they dogging it.
Yeah. What you say, Matt,
Hey,
on that Job Corps thing, man, or anything else?
I got one right across the field from me. On, you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I don't know if you know this or not, but I lost my son, and
Yeah.
he had a 16-year-old son, my grandson,
Okay.
and he hadn't been making the kid go to school, or he wasn't doing what he needed to do. Okay,
Okay.
and so when my son he OD'd, okay, uh, we went by there. We brought the grandson here to live with me, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, one of the things that I insisted upon is you gonna get some education somewhere. You're gonna finish
Mm-hmm.
some kind of school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I looked at the Job Corps, And I wasn't opposed to Job Corps, but we went to some kind of community-based school where you could get your GED or something just right down the street there. He wound up going there, but you know, and then you know, the other grandparents, uh, they pretty much kidnapped him, and I haven't seen him in over a year now. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
you know, but you know, that's you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I took my son down that same road that Mac talking about right there. I took him over to Job Corps, and Leo Kelly was doing entrance for them. I don't know if you know that Kelly name, Kelly.
I know some
Yeah,
killers.
around Henderson. Yeah, but Leo was there, and we tried to get him in there, and he really didn't want to go in there. So and you don't try to force them to do nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
try to give them advice,
Well,
and if you
you
take
know,
it, you take it.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I gave him some choices,
Yeah,
but you had to take one of these damn choices. You ain't going to not do something. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I didn't say you go into Job Corps. You go to Job Corps. You can go to this one, or you can go to
right.
school. You
You
know,
gonna do something.
you're gonna do something.
You gonna
Now,
do something.
granted, traditional school was not satisfying him. Okay.
Not
Uh,
the same way.
yeah. Uh, and
God
you
bless
know,
his soul. He dead now
yeah,
too. He got shot.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Job Corps filled that gap. You know, these kids, not everybody fits into a traditional school. They, they probably going to go do away with trade schools. You know,
Yeah.
trade schools and, you know, community colleges. I think those are the best things that have ever happened to a community.
They
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's like everything though. It's like everything in life. Even in the military, there's a lot of guys they just don't cut it in the military.
Oh, no.
Come
It
in,
ain't
you
for
have them
everybody.
guys come in the military, man, and they get kicked out before they even finish boot camp.
Yep.
I've seen a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. What you got, Bill? You about to say something?
I was going to say that part of the problem has been, and I had dealt with this more than back in the middle '90s, late '90s. Um, I was in the District of Columbia. I was advocating for more vocational training in the high schools.
Mm.
Uh, and the argument, what I was arguing against is that black parents wanted their children to get white collar jobs. So they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be prepared for college. And I just remember what my father told me. Uh, he went to Hampton, but he was a Booker T. Washington man. He believed that you could have book education, but you had to know how to fix things manually. If you didn't have manual arts, manual skills, then you were selling yourself short.
Right.
Uh, and I remember when in junior high school, we used to go to in junior high school. I took sheet metal, printing, and electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you had to learn all that. But in the late '90s, when I brought up that we needed to uh, black community needed to be supportive of vocational training. The counter argument I got was that no, we want our kids to have this kind of education.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, my point was all kids don't want to go to college. Suppose
Right.
That's right.
at 13 decides I want to be a long haul truck driver.
Mm.
do we have training where we can let him go to school till he's 18, and when he graduates from high school at 18, he has the proper driving license and training to go be a long haul
Yeah.
truck driver.
There you
Get those 3 hours, if you will. Read, write, and arithmetic.
Yeah.
get them grants too. They ain't got to pay it back. That money they pay, the entry money.
You know, the one thing that I saw that surprised me is you have young people who come here from other countries
Mhm.
and they can drive a forklift. They can operate a crane. They can operate a truck, a road grader. But our kids at 18 finishing high school, even finishing a vocational high school, where can you learn to drive a road grader?
Mm.
Or operate a crane or those sort of things.
Mhm.
Even if you took auto mechanics at the high school that we had in Washington, D.C., they didn't have the most modern auto mechanic stuff, the computers and all of that.
Mhm.
So here you are training a guy to use manual tools, and he goes try to get a job at the local dealership in your area, but he doesn't know how to operate the automated equipment that he has. So how's he gonna get hired? And so my point is that if a kid decides that he wants to be a chef, he should be able to go to a school where he learns the things that Mac talked about: reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Mhm.
I mean, and arithmetic, and also a trade.
Right.
Yeah.
So that at 18 he's prepared to go out and be meaningfully employed. One of the things that the present occupant of the White House talked about that I tend to agree with is he talked about, I don't know if he's going to do it. He said he was going to have Americans trained in he said we need carpenters and bricklayers and
Yeah.
Right.
those sort of things.
Yeah.
Finishers, long haul truck drivers,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. And he said that's what he was going to emphasize when he talked about what he was doing with these elite universities. Now, I hope he does that,
Mhm.
but I also hope that there is a realization within the Black community that all of our children, they are our future, may not be geared toward going to college.
We're all not going to be CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, are
That's right.
we?
You
But
know,
if they cut those programs out, you will never know.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
will never know because I mean that hit home right there for them to cut down. I mean on the front page of the community paper,
Mhm.
get your Job Corp. They're gonna take all the kids back home and they're gonna
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
You,
You know, the school
Some
that
of them ain't
Joe,
got no home. They're gonna just drop them off in the street.
yeah, that's right. Some of them don't have a home, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember now, this is probably before you guys' time, but when the judge used to say you could go to the military or Job Corp, you know,
Mm. Mhm.
That program done saved a lot of lives.
yeah.
It
So,
Mhm.
has.
I mean,
Yeah. You know, the high school that Joe and I went to in Henderson, man, they had what home economics,
Yeah.
what they taught you
well, I was
sewing.
going to say that, when I was coming along, I
They
had
had
home
carpentry,
economics where you learn how to cook, and we
Yeah,
had typing, where
typing.
you learn to type.
ceramics.
Oh man, hey look, I can run about 70 words a minute right now. When I went in the military, I could run about 70 words a minute that I learned, in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't
Uh,
want to take that.
we
I
had
was
a we had a carpentry class. Mr. Ford,
carpentry.
you remember him, Joe?
Yeah.
And I spent my whole 3 years of high school going to in carpentry class. Automotive, I didn't need auto. Well, could have used automotive, but my father, my grandfather, both had their own automotive shop, so I had that much training. But uh, that carpentry class, man. I mean, even today, I mean, I've been spending the last 2 weeks rebuilding my deck that I built behind my house, going to my house here about 13 years ago that needed some work done on it. No problem. A couple of years ago, when I came down with this cancer, plus all in my house, all of my bedrooms are upstairs. So my wife and I had been talking about, either we're gonna have to get out of this 2-story house or we need an elevator. So I went ahead and looked into an elevator. Guy came out and, we couldn't find a good place to put it other than in the garage, which would make it pop up in the bonus room where I'm in right now with my little studio that I have set up. But I had to have a room built to put the elevator in, so it wouldn't be just out in the middle of the damn garage. So using my skills that I learned in high school, I built this room for my elevator to be installed. And the guy came out and he said, "Man, well, you saved yourself about $30,000 just by building the room for the elevator." So it's a lot of benefits, man, with these vocational classes for these kids in these high schools and these, like you said, these community colleges and stuff, man. But it looks like the Trump administration, man, is just, I don't know if they just plan on shutting all of that shit down or what, man. I don't know.
Papa, those chairlifts.
Well, man, that chairlift that go up the stairs.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. I ain't trying to be funny. I just can't see myself sitting in one of them damn chairs, man, bro. I already move kind of slow, man, but I watch those commercials, man, see that old lady sitting in that chair sliding up that damn wall, man. I said, nah, I can't. I can't do that, dog. I'll crawl up them damn steps before I sit in the chairlift, man.
My sister-in-law got one.
Yeah.
They had one where somebody got in one of them things. That thing went on through it went up the stairs at a high rate of speed and went on through the ceiling and went on out.
Come on, Joe. Stop, man.
No, I don't know if it was some kind of horror movie they had going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? To add on to what you were saying, though, Chester.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids don't know nothing about work, and you know what I mean. They grow up and they sit in that room and they play them video games.
I'm telling you, man.
And they don't have no work ethic like we, and when we came up in our era, cut grass, go cut somebody's grass, make $2 off of that, go into the tobacco field and do tobacco and make money off of that. Whatever way you can make money, aside from trying to sell drugs, because a lot of them was out there trying to sell a little marijuana. They want to make that fast money until they found out that that's going to get you behind them bars.
Yeah.
So
they
gonna clean this town up, because this town used to be full of drug dealers, wannabe drug dealers.
Oh yeah, man. Even when I was there, man, high school.
Did anybody give a reason why they're cutting down why they're getting rid of the Job Corp? Was there a reason for that?
Well, the article said over the years they have had a lot of violence that went on out there, which is true. Those kids are rough out there. Some of them got mental problems, undiagnosed mental problems. They have a lot of young girls out there, and guys they have the girls' dorm and the men's dorm, and dudes be trying to get up in them dorms with them girls, and a few rape cases while I was there. Where they went in there, man, the girls in the shower and just raped them. Burning up stuff, arson. And then recently, when just before I left, they had started adding transgender people in there. They started letting them in there. You know, that was going to be a problem right there. Where you put them at? Do you put them with the girls or you put them with the boys? And they started letting minors in there.
Where do you put them?
Account for the minors 24/7.